Hello everyone, welcome back for more Let's Play Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars Director's Cut. Joining me is Yorkshire Raven.
Well, truth, justice and the American way?
We're in France. I hope they're not going with the American way in France. That was something I wanted to bring up earlier and forgot about as soon as we cleared the scene. The guy who was doing the pickaxe work, as pleasant as he was, he said he only gets like a 10-minute break, blah, 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 blah. From what I've seen of the French, they wouldn't let that happen. From what I've seen of the French, they do not take that kindly. The French will freaking riot and protest over everything. Their workers go on strike for tiny things, and they are so much better off for it.
If I remember, there was a story about an American company tried to set up in France. I tried to pull the usual shit they do over in the US, and they did not take kindly to it.
No, I think there's a story about that happening in France, and another one happening in Germany, too.
Yeah, it's definitely either France or Germany.
No, but I think earlier this year, and this year is almost over at the time we're recording this, 2023, but earlier this year there was a bit about they wanted to raise the age of retirement from 60 to 65, or something very, very much in that line. And in the U.S., the age of retirement is already at 65, so everybody in the U.S. went, what? But the French, God, they struck over this and struck hard. They were not allowed to let something like that pass. At all. I don't know what the result of that strike was, but yeah, you don't mess with the French unions. You don't mess with them. But
okay,
you know, social commentary aside, it's time to head back to the cafe.
I just want one more bit on the case of. I was just looking up for the age of retirement for the UK. It's 66 for both men and women.
Really?
Yep.
Ah. I see he still took his newspaper and fucked off, basically.
He's having his 10 minutes, and he's going to have them.
He's probably having a lot more than 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't blame him.
He's having a very passive-aggressive 10 minutes.
Yes, it is. It's that same 10 minutes that happens at the beginning of shift where I work. Where I sit down, log into my computer, and then just kind of stare at the screen until everything loads up. And that takes about 10 minutes. I may be clocked in, but that first 10 minutes is mine, goddammit.
On the hours you work, very understandable.
Actually, that's changed quite a bit
Could I ask
recently,
you some questions?
thank God.
That depends. Are you a cop?
No, I'm a journalist.
Bit late, aren't you? They already took away the body.
I'm doing a follow-up on the story.
But yeah, the thing about my work schedule, it was really weird there for a while. But things have changed, and it's now I've actually got a consistent schedule now, even though I am working close to 50 hours a week. But at least it's a consistent schedule now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to complain about the 50 hours a week because they pay me time and a half for overtime. And this year I got a pretty significant raise, so that time and a half is now a lot of money, comparatively. Well, I say that it's a lot of money compared to what I'm used to making. But anyway, that's a whole side story. Anyway, let's talk to him.
Have the police finished with the crime scene?
What does it look like? I got orders to board up the windows, and that's what I'm doing.
So the body's been removed?
I certainly hope so, or it'll stink to high heaven when they take down these boards.
Shouldn't you check?
Are you kidding? They don't pay me enough to put up boards, let alone check for dead bodies.
You're doing a fine job.
Damn right I am. You should be writing about me, not that idiot that got blown up.
The heroes who pick up the pieces when disaster strikes.
Exactly.
Well, give me your best smile and maybe I'll put your picture in the article.
Oh, right. Just give me a minute to do my hair.
So, you technically want this to happen so you can do a thing. But we're not really done talking to him. He's got more to say.
Hello?
Yes.
Would you like this hair clip?
What do you take me for? Some kind of a pervert?
You see this ticket?
Are you trying to bribe me?
No.
I don't blame you, of course. A good-looking fella like me.
Take a look at this.
I don't like laissez hankies. They scratch my nose.
I can see how that must be a problem for you. Would you recognize this?
Nose.
That
Little
is the
bit.
key
Yeah,
to
I
a
think
safe.
so.
A Warren special, if I'm not mistaken.
And you mentioned earlier about how we had a lack of blackjack in these videos.
Yeah.
I think
There
he's
he
about to be
is.
heard, yes.
What do you think of my shell case?
Are you in the scrap business?
Of course not.
Pity. I've got some rubbish just like that I need to get rid of.
Unfortunately for Blackjack, he's appearing at the very end of our recording session today.
He wouldn't be interested.
He's probably
Do
make
you
up
like
for it
this
next
cover?
time.
Yeah,
It's the
probably.
kind of thing you pick up for a couple of euros at Les Puces de Saint-Ouen.
Look at this secret message.
Very nice. But it's not secret now, is it? It's just a message.
Yeah, he does have a point.
He wouldn't be interested in a substitution cipher. Do you know this man?
He looks like a nasty piece of work. I had an uncle who was with the fascists, but we never talk about him.
What happened to him?
How should I know? We never talk about him.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
What do you think I am? A plumber?
I don't think plumbing has anything to do with that. But
Au revoir.
to actually show off the puzzle here.
The police had removed the body, but nothing else.
Aw,
looked
he
disturbed.
started primping and preening. Which the thing is, he wasn't supposed to let us in at all. Because he was just supposed to say, yeah, you can't go in there and shove us. So we gave him the whole thing about we'll take his picture so he would turn away and start to mess with his hair. So then we could get in. But apparently he decided to keep messing with his hair even after that.
Oops, stupid thing.
Huh, that's weird.
A panel had been blown away, revealing a gap. From this angle, I could see that something had been lodged in the gap behind the pipes. From this angle, I could see that something had been lodged in the gap behind the pipes.
Nothing else. We can't pick up a glass shard to use as a knife later or anything. But we can move this table.
Behind the table were some damaged pipes. Voila! The police and forensic teams had missed a vital piece of evidence. Some kind of pouch. On the pouch was the cross symbol of Cochon's organization. I was on the right track. On the pouch was the cross symbol of Cochon's organization. Inside the pouch were two items: a strange metallic artifact and a letter in some kind of code.
So yeah, once again, we've got another coded message.
The artifact had a sword laid across scales. There was a picture of Lady Justice on the locked panel in the room below the conciergerie.
So yeah, we have a key for something, apparently.
Another coded message using the same cipher system. So, Plantard was involved with Cochon.
Okay, so here we go again. And let's see. I think it's the same layout as it was before. I think they use the same letters. And this was an I. The U, what was the U? I think the U was this one. Because if you can remember which letter is which letter, every single coded message uses the same exact list. You just have to remember which one's which. Let's see. Okay, that symbol was the L. I know I'm going off memory here. Let's see. Do I have any others that I remember right off the top of my head? Okay, yeah, I remember that being a K. So that's killed. Let's see. The O. Which one was the O? I think the O was that symbol. Yeah. And then the A. The A was that funky little dome with the cat tail on it. Pretty sure that was the A. Okay. That's the A. That's all the vowels. Okay. That's and in there. That looks like that looks like followed there. Goes much faster the second time if you've done the first part previously. If you've done the first part recently, I meant to say. Okay, that's the R. That's right.
And have a decent memory.
We've already got the D, so that's the S. That's right. Okay, here's Pierre's name again. Okay, yeah, that's Plantard, the guy we were going to meet up with. Killed. Murderer. Must have? That's gotta be have. Or no end, it was Yamada. He will come for us now. We must be vigilant.
Plantard. Pierre killed. Murderer must have followed trail from Arnaud and Yamada. He will come for us now. We must be vigilant. Thierry's girl broke into Pierre's safe. She worries me. Imelda. So much for Imelda's innocence. Plantard was working for her, and for Conchon. But why did Plantard want to meet? Was it a trap? Or maybe he was in too deep and needed me to tell the story, whatever the story was. One thing was clear. It was a story worth killing for.
Also, notice that we are directly mentioned in that note. That's something you didn't exactly point out. Thierry being our boss.
She doesn't seem particularly good at noting things that seemed very relevant.
There was nothing
And
of
directed
interest
towards
beyond
her.
some bloody debris.
Yeah, she's kind of laser focused in on the case, but the fact that it's like, yeah, that Nico broke into the safe. You were directly implicated in that message, which also means that that message was recent. And I'm going to bet that Pierre is, you know... Then again, who would Pierre be in this case? I don't think we've met a Pierre. A lot of questions opening up now. Let's see.
Hey, what about my photos?
Of course. How could I forget?
Well, I'm waiting. Get your camera out.
Camera. Oh, I forgot. It broke.
Alors, they should never send a woman to do a man's job.
Well, this woman had fooled him easily enough. And found the evidence the police had missed. The strange metal artifact I found in Plantard's pouch had pointed back to the quayside.
When Lika.
The cross looked familiar. I'd seen it before.
What?
I had come back specifically to find out more.
Okay, that just wants
I
us to
wasn't
leave.
leaving empty-handed.
So here we get to do all this again. Only this time we don't have to use the shell casing to pry up the door. So, yep, here we are back in the same room. And last time we were here, we got pointed towards this particular little slot here, but we didn't have any way to actually interact with it. Oh, I see the drawer's still out. Nobody's fixed that yet. But we are really interested in just this little section right
A
here.
door like that always has something important behind it. I had to find a way to unlock it. That wasn't going to help. That wasn't going to help.
Why
A
not?
slot next to the safe door. All I had to do was find something to fit into it. It was like being back in kindergarten. All I needed now was a shape that would fit the slot.
And like I said last time, we didn't have the proper shape. Now we do.
Plantard's key fitted the lock, so he must have used this place too.
So, yet another fascist on our hands.
The folders were empty. Someone had removed anything that they thought could be incriminating. The folders were empty. A photograph had been torn up. If I could just arrange the pieces.
So we have a photograph. It's been torn up a whole hell of a lot here.
If we put them all back together, we discover what happens to Della Duck.
Maybe. So let's... That is obviously the corner right there. It doesn't have any place it locks into specifically, but it does. There is a grid here. Thank God, because I played Ripper and I remember the damn coffee cup puzzle. If you do not know what Ripper is and do not know what the coffee cup puzzle is, be glad that this is not doing the same thing. And this is obviously the bottom corner down here, so I'm going to stick it down there. I have a bunch of... That's a... Like solving any other puzzle out here, you get all your... You try to get all of the edges lined up. At least what look like edges at the moment. I'm pretty sure those fit together. And that one fits on top of it. That doesn't quite fit. This one? Yeah, that fits. Now, let's see, we've got this, fits there pretty well, it looks like.
Oh my God. It can't be.
Huh.
Nico! Papa! I've already done that once this Let's Play, and I'm probably going to do it again.
There was no doubt about it. It was a picture of my father. Papa? Oh God. After what I'd gone through, I thought I could face anything, but not this. My father, the one person in the whole world who I truly admired, standing with Crachon, while those murderers carried on with their evil work. My father, grinning at the camera. I couldn't believe it.
And somebody tried to hide that fact from us.
I realized that I desperately needed to get to the bottom of this story, and that I really needed George.
Really needed him, despite the fact she only really just met him.
Yep. Also, would you want to go home right now if you were her?
No.
You know people have been in there. You know they're keeping tabs on your movement. They know you've been around. Would you want to head back to your apartment? Nico may be one of the more intelligent protagonists out there, but still has the moments of, oh God damn it, why do you lose your mind? Why does your brain fall out at all the worst times? But that is a question we will have to answer later. For now, we're back in control of George. But before we actually go on up and say hi to Nico, I think this is a good stopping spot for now.
Yes.
Next time we will continue on and see if George can actually help Nico out, or if George is just being George. But until then, take care, everyone.
Bye, folks.